there was separation of duty that time. The announcer may not do any other thing than just come and announce programs. You are the one that is driving the station. They say you are the image maker of the station. You know, whatever you say, or the window shop of the station, whatever you say is what keeps the listener either glued to the station or repel the listener. What you say must be so compelling that listener doesn't want to go away from that station. And I remember that kind of a thing happened to me. There were some announcers when I was growing up that I used to listen to. One of them was Lanre Kau in Kwara State then, MBC Ilorin, Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation Ilorin that time. He eventually became the Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission a few years ago. He was so good on radio. Anytime you listen to him, you did not want to tune off. That should be the job of the announcer. Now, announcer may not read the news, because some people who have been much more experienced than you, who have been on the job longer than you, might be the one that will be reading the news until you also get to that kind of level. You might not even be presenting programs. Your job is just to announce the program, on the program, and sign that program off. And then when the station begins early in the morning, it is your duty to do, when you open the station, that is also what is called program parade. You will line up of programs for the day that will keep that listener that is listening to you interested in what you have that you have lined up for the day. It's your job. The moment you are able to do that successfully, that listener does not want to tune away from your station. But that was what happened before or prior to the time privatization started, when we now started having private stations. All the stations I'm talking about were government-owned stations, either federal government or state government at that time. So, but now that we have private stations all over the place, private station may not be able to have the kind of staff strength that government stations could afford. So they started narrowing down. They started to streamline. They started to look at how to cut down as far as overhead cost of running the station is concerned. So eventually, the issue of announcer seemed to be phased out as far as private stations are concerned. These days, you don't hear announcers. They do much of station identification jingles. They have so many of such, so that at every point in time, there is one station identification that is saying something about the station. You may not say anything as such about the program that is about to come. They believe that the presenter will come and introduce himself. They feel that, and sometimes, if it is a recorded program, all those things that are necessary to introduce the programs are already there, because they feel they don't need the announcer. The announcer seems to have been phased out. You don't hear announcers on private stations these days. And that's the situation as far as broadcasting is concerned now. I've just talked about broadcasting then, as far as personnel is concerned, and broadcasting in this modern time. The modern time, as far as private stations are concerned, they want to cut down as much as possible on overhead cost. My name is Kayode Joseph, and I retired from the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRC, in Ibadan, after 35 years of service in 2017. And now I work with 101.7 Yes FM as the Chief Operating Officer.